research on multiple zones, and what we found is that across the country, uniformly, cities have focused on one particular area, one zone, at least initially, to get that through the process, to see how it works. They develop a factual basis to support that zone. That's very important in the courts, and then they can use that to expand the zone to other areas, like Fort Lauderdale started with the beach, and years later then expanded it to a different economic zone. So I guess what I'm saying is that when we were asked about multiple zones, particularly Westside, again, the concern, the very strong concern, is that if we took that approach in our first attempt, we would lose in court, that would be struck down. And I would offer the advice to you that we should focus on the downtown no solicitation zone, work on addressing the concerns you raised. If you're comfortable with it, we should pass it, implement it, and then we can look at other zones, whether it's Old Colorado City or other areas, as we go forward. But addressing Westside in particular, I wanted to bring back some more information, let you know that we care about Westside, and we're working on how do we help Westside with their issues. In our mind, they have, and this is the city, the police department, the city staff, in our mind, they have unique issues, different concerns, and we think there are appropriate solutions for them, different issues. You recall, it's a very different sort of area. When you look at Old Colorado City, from about 21st to 27th, that's a very different kind of area than Westside from 30th to 33rd or 34th. You may have seen in the newspaper just this last week there was a prostitution sting and an arrest of 2 individuals for prostitution in the Westside, in the 33rd block of West Colorado Avenue. And that is the area we had mentioned before has chronically been known to have issues with prostitution, with assaults and with trespass. So even as we look at Westside, let's understand, please, or let's look at it as really 2 or 3 different areas, even within what we call Westside. The downtown Old Colorado City from 21st to 27th is different than the area from 28th to 31st. That's different from the area 31st to Manitou Springs. So we're going to try to address each one of those. It is a multi-jurisdictional issue, and there should be multi-jurisdictional solutions. There's the county and the city, as you know. Another example is interesting. Just a week or so ago, PPRTA, Sally Clark and the county engineer, Andre Brackett, announced that there's some funding that's just been awarded for PPRTA to look at upgrading Colorado Avenue from Manitou City border through into Old Colorado City. So that's a great example of where a regional solution or a multi-jurisdictional approach can look at providing some really hopefully impactful, helpful solutions. So that might be a very good first step, is to get the quality of that roadway improved through some PPRTA funds. I'll invite Chief Carey up. We're also, the city is looking at joint enforcement, both in terms of joint enforcement authorizations. So city CSPD sworn officers can arrest on county property, sheriff department can arrest on city property, looking at how we can make that work. We're looking at, Chief will talk about committing dollars and sworn officers and CSOs and the HOT team to that area to work on some of their issues. The issues that I remember from the community meeting on Westside, they're dealing with outright assaults, they're dealing with public drunkenness, they're dealing with trespass where individuals just will walk into businesses, refuse to leave. They're dealing with real enforcement issues for laws that are currently on the books. So if we can give them commitment for real enforcement, that's going to go a long way and be, I think, the most helpful first step as we look at helping them address their issues. So maybe I'll pause and let Chief Carey talk a little bit about that.